Hi, beautiful people. How are y'all doing today? Welcome to my channel, Tropical Empress in Spirit. My name is Amanda. Hi, beautiful people. I hope y'all are having a wonderful, beautiful day. Now that we're in the holiday season, I thought I would take this time and make a video, as I apologize, y'all, that I haven't made any new videos in a while. So, today I thought I would share this special story of a spiritual experience I had, but there was something I did to honor my loved ones that caused this spiritual experience to come. Because many of y'all ask me, when I do my live streams or even some of the videos I've made in the past, do our loved ones on the other side hear us? Do they hear us? Do they know what's going on in our lives? Do they see us when we're struggling? Do they see the hardships, the obstacles? Do they even see and recognize our achievements, our successes, things we may choose to do, our own way of honoring and celebrating them, especially on those hard, difficult days that, can make any of us, cry and miss our loved ones, such as, um, a holiday like Thanksgiving and Christmas, since we are in that season. And as, many of y'all know, I lost my mother Thanksgiving of 2000. So this always will hit home for me. The month of November is a difficult month, for those that, may not know me and who are new to my channel. I lost my mother when I was 19. And then my birth father died when I was 25, and he died November 2nd. So November's always been that challenging month, for me missing loved ones, because I lost two of my three parents, because I had my stepfather too, who was my daddy, but I ended up losing him, in June right after Father's Day. So November though is that big month that I go through and I struggle, mentally and emotionally, just missing him and thinking back. So um and Thanksgiving's always been that hard holiday to celebrate, to be, truly live the phrase that I always say, one of my cards says, pretty much to live in gratitude. And for me, that's been a difficult thing for me to do over the years, from when I lost her at 19 to now me being 43. I've been able to grow and find healing and peace from it. But it didn't happen overnight, beautiful people. It took years. And um, for several years, I didn't want to celebrate Thanksgiving or even Christmas, because the other thing about it is I had an aunt who had cancer who died 2 weeks for Christmas, the same year my mother died. So Thanksgiving and Christmas is that challenging time. But some years ago, which is why I'm recording this video, I thought I would share this uplifting story. And I hope that it brings you warmth and love and comfort, and encouragement, and give you some ideas of how you can honor your loved ones during the holiday season that might, bring a smile to your face, or even maybe to help bring a smile to someone else's face. I don't think, I think some of us take for granted how much that act of kindness, how far it can go to help and change someone's life. So this is one of those stories. This was back in 2016, 2017. It was right before Thanksgiving, like the beginning, like the first week of November, I want to say. I was at home and I was cleaning, and I was actually also in the middle of buying Christmas gifts for the upcoming Christmas holiday, as I was scheduled for a major surgery that was going to be an 8.5 hour operation, 12 days for Christmas. And so I knew I had to get all my holiday, shopping done and have it all ready, because come surgery, I didn't know what kind of condition I was going to be in. Would I even, feel good enough to go out and want to hassle with the crowds and stressing at the last minute? So I was trying to make everything as easy as possible. So I didn't have that stress, and then it stressed out my family either. So, I was at home and I was listening to the radio, and I heard one of the radio hosts, they had an advertisement for a commercial, advertising they were hosting an event. for, it was called Stuff the Truck. And it was for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, um, to help families in need who don't have the means to be able to buy the food that we all enjoy during Thanksgiving and holiday, Christmas season, the turkey and all the, side items you make to go with the turkey. And so they were asking people to donate, whether that's money or food or possibly both. Whatever, you could donate. They had a list of items on their website that you can choose from and bring it to the event the day they were hosting it at a grocery store. And at that moment, I just had this big calling within me that wanted to help deeply. It was a deep hurt, but a deep calling to act. And but at the time, I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to do this because, again, as I said, I was getting ready to have surgery, and the problem was my surgery wasn't being covered by my insurance at all. And even though it was a medically necessary, the insurance company wouldn't pay for it. So I had to take a loan out to pay for the insurance or pay for the surgery. That was, pretty much what it would cost to buy a new vehicle. And I didn't have like any extra money sitting around just to go and buy all this extra food, to give away. So, and that bothered me, but I felt this deep call. I needed to help. I needed to figure out a way. The other thought crossed my mind was, well, I can go shoot pool and, play in some money matches or a tournament and raise the money that way. The other part of that problem was I'd already torn my shoulder at that point. So I knew I was in no condition to even compete at that point to make the money to donate in time. I still needed my rotator cuff repair taken care of. So my next thought was, as I sat there and I'm thinking, brainstorming, trying to figure out how can I come up with this money. I remembered my jewelry box that I had when I was a child. My parents had gifted me. And in this jewelry box is all the jewelry my parents had bought me over the years, before, my mom became really sick. And it was just sitting in this jewelry box collecting dust. I had not worn it in years, but it was, I had it, for sentimental value. And it now became pretty much like a family heirloom because of my parents now being gone. These are things I couldn't replace. But I felt like although it was family heirlooms now, um, I felt it could be better served to help someone in need instead of it just sitting in my jewelry box collecting dust. So I made the decision to take all the items in that jewelry box up to my personal jeweler and sold him the items to get the money, to whatever money he would give me to be able to buy the food for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday and Christmas holiday to help all those families out there in need who don't have the money, to be able to buy food and even the Christmas gifts, come around Christmas. So I I didn't tell anybody about it. I kept it to myself. So next day I go up, I had a couple more errands I had to run, a couple more gifts I still had to get, for my loved ones. And after I was done, I went by my jeweler and took him the items, all the jewelry, the pieces from my parents I had over the years, and sold it to him and explained to him why I was doing it, because I knew he would ask. And so I told him, I said, listen, I know, I lost my mother young. I said, but I don't know if you remember that I lost her Thanksgiving Day of 2000. And, he said he didn't recall that, but he did know I lost my mother young. I said, well, there's a radio station that I listen to. They're hosting an event to raise money and to take food donations to help families in need. And I said, and the struggles that my family went through when my mother was really sick. We didn't have hardly anything. My parents, we couldn't even afford my mother's medical bills, let alone to be able to afford to buy all the extra food just for Thanksgiving and Christmas, let alone Christmas gifts to go with it. So I said, I feel I can do this. I need to do this to help all these people out here who need, that extra, hand of love and support, and I know people don't think, strangers care. I care. And I so deeply care. I said, so I need to do this, and I asked him, I said, will you please help me? Will you, buy these items for me so I can do this? And him and his wife were just completely blown away by my generosity, to the point that not only did they give me the money for the items I brought, my jewelry pieces, but they even threw in, like I think he threw out like $30 that he had in his pocket, to add to it. That was his own money. That wasn't going on his business account. Um, and so I went through, I was very thankful and grateful and thanked him and told him I'd let him know, how the event went. And so I went to the grocery store, bought everything on that list, every single item, the green beans, the corn, the potatoes, the white potatoes, the sweet potatoes, the stuffing, the cranberry sauce, all those items that you would need to have a whole Thanksgiving spread. The only item I didn't buy at that moment was the turkey, because I knew I had to wait, because I had no place to store, however many turkeys I was going to be able to buy. And at the time, I estimated I could buy about 21 full meals. So that'd be 21 turkeys with all the side items to go to make 21 complete meals to feed 21 families. So after I got the food, loaded up in my car was packed full. I could have fit another single thing in that car. And I went home and I walked in the house and my husband looked at me and he's like, hey, did you get all your errands done? I said, yeah. I said, and I did something else too. And he's like, what? And that's when I told him, what I'd done. And he was just completely taken away and blown away by me, and was telling me, just how extremely proud he was of me, to go that far, to wanting to help a complete stranger, who were in need, and he's asked me if he could go to the event with me, for support. I said, yeah. I said, just understand, you can't get him in the car with me because my car is packed full with all that food. I said, and I still have the turkeys to buy. It's going to be about 21. He's like, well, I'll help you, get the turkeys. We'll leave a few hours early so we can go buy and get the turkeys to take it there. I said, okay, that'll work, so I can fill up your car with all the turkeys, was my thought. And so the day of the event, we leave, and my husband, at time follows me to the event. And knowing it was being held at a grocery store, I decided to buy all the turkeys from them, thinking they would have it, and I'd be able to buy 21 turkeys. So we walk inside. Well, first we went to DJ stand where the radio hosts were, and I let them know I was there, and I let them know what I was doing and all the food I had in the car, and that I still had to get the turkeys, and they were blown away by that, and so I told them I'd be back, and so me and my husband at the time we walked inside and went to, frozen section where all the meats were. And there was a guy that worked there that was like loading up, the freezers with different meat items. And I had said to him, why I was there, what I was looking for. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I'll be right back. And he comes back, he's like, yeah, we can't allow you to buy that many turkeys. And I kind of looked at him and said, huh? What do you mean? We have the money. Why? And he's like, my manager will be here in a minute. Okay. So me and my husband looking at each other like we're sitting there confused, like, what? I didn't understand. Like, why wouldn't you allow me as a customer, a paying customer, to buy what I'm there to buy? Like, what's the problem? So the manager comes and she looks at me and, says, well, we have a limit, 2 turkeys per person. Huh? What? And I just kind of looked at her. It's like I didn't know what to say. I said, okay, I understand, okay, you got a limit. I said, however, I said, can I share something with you? I said, listen to me. I said, I just went and sold all my family heirlooms that my parents gave me, who are passed, they're in heaven now. I said, and because I lost my mother Thanksgiving, and because I know how hard it was for me and my family to get through the holidays because we didn't have the money to afford, food and Christmas gifts. I said, I had to do this to honor and celebrate my mother because she died Thanksgiving of 2000. I said, so understand me. I'm not taking these turkeys home with me. It's going outside on that food truck that's sitting out there that y'all are hosting this event. Y'all are sponsoring. So is there anything you can do? And, she looked at me. She's like, you know what? You're doing a great thing, you know. And she said, it's admirable what you're doing. And, by then she's like, okay, I'll let you have the turkeys. I said, thank you, because I was worried. They weren't going to let us leave with turkeys, that many turkeys. But I guess my husband at the time had the idea. He's like, well, if they wouldn't let us have turkeys, I would have been buying the hams or whatever other big meats we can get our hands on, to have something. It's like, yeah, I guess we could have done that. But thankfully, we didn't have to. So we go to, register and we pay for it. Load up 2 baskets full of turkeys, 21 turkeys total. And 2 of the employees walked out. They followed us to make sure the turkeys were going on that, food truck and it wasn't going in the back of my car. It's like, that's fine. They didn't believe me, whatever, but they see that I was true to my word. And so the people that were helping, with the event and taking the food donations took the turkeys, and then we unloaded the car. And as we were unloading the car, the radio host, there's 3 of them, they walked over and were talking to us and thanking us for our generosity. Everybody there was very sweet, very humble. It was a very powerful, overwhelming experience for me. The gratitude people had, but just the humbleness of it all. And to know I knew and I understood and I could feel how much this meant to them for what I was doing. And, I had plans on just unloading my car of the food and getting back in my car and leaving. I had no plans on sticking around. So the radio host had asked me if I would sit down with them and talk to them and share my story, on live radio with them for their listeners. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't come here for that, which I didn't. I didn't need, anyone to recognize what I was doing. I knew for myself what I was doing and why I was doing it. So I said, you know what, let me think about it, for a few minutes. I'm not sure. And I was being shy too. Um, so after we're done unloading the car, my husband at the time, pulled me to the side and he's like, well, why don't you go and sit with them? And one of them had walked over again, we would really love it if you would come and join us. And then my husband said, well, I can't take credit for this. This is all her doing. She deserves all the credit here. This was her idea. She's the one that went out and sold her family's heirlooms to buy all this food. So I'm just here for support and to help her unload the car. That was it. So, I think it hit even home, even deeper, just knowing that this was all my doing, as, he was making clear, which I didn't need him to say, but that's what he felt he had to say. So, they were like, we would really appreciate it and love it if you would sit with us. And I said, okay, well, I'm talking it over, trying to decide. And like, okay, well, we're over here waiting. Okay. So, I looked at, my husband. He's like, go, go sit and talk to them. Tell them why you're doing this, that this is to honor your mom, and the story behind it all. Why not sit with them? Why not share that? People need to hear your story and why you're doing this. And I said, because I didn't come here for that. I came here to donate the food and get in my car and leave. No, nothing else. I had no intentions on talking to anybody and sticking around. He's like, yes, but they're asking you to talk to them. And people need to hear your story. And so I sat there, I'm like, I thought about it. It's like, okay, well, you know, maybe if it'll help, put a smile on someone else's face to know that there are strangers in the world who truly do care, and maybe even help inspire someone else to want to help, then it'd be worth it. So I finally said yes. So I sat down with them and, they started asking me the questions, what I brought. They asked me how much food I brought, and I said, it's 21 turkeys with all the items that y'all had listed on the website. So the cranberry sauce, the stuffing, the sweet potatoes, the white potatoes, the green beans, the canned corn, all of it. All those items plus the turkeys I brought. And they're like, wow, that's so amazing. You're an angel. And I said, this is my way of honoring and celebrating my parents, but more specifically, my mother. I said, because she died Thanksgiving of 2000. And I said, and I know how difficult things were for me growing up because of my mother being so sick. We didn't have money to be able to afford her medical bills, let alone be able to afford extra food of anything, or even Christmas gifts or birthday gifts, because all the money went to barely keeping a roof over our head and the food we were able to afford, and pay for whatever medical bills we could afford to pay, but a lot of it we couldn't still afford. So we went without a lot. I said, so this is my reminder to myself of, I'm not forgetting where I came from, and also to honor her memory. This is my mama's legacy here. So I'm doing this for her, you know. And I just felt a deep call, a deep need to want to help, you know. And so they asked me, well, what did you do to um, get that much money to buy all this food? I said, well, I had a jewelry box full of jewelry my parents had bought me over the years when I was a child, before, my mother became really sick, that had all my family heirlooms, talking about, diamonds, diamond earrings, diamond, necklaces, gold necklaces, rings, all these different items I had. I said, and because it was just sitting in my closet, in my jewelry box collecting dust, I felt it was better served by me, selling it to help people who are in need right now. Because I understand there's a great need, and I feel a call to help. And they just said again, wow, you're amazing. You're an angel. And they were telling me, your parents are looking down on you right now and they're smiling from heaven because they are that incredibly proud of you, as we all are. We're all proud of you. What you have done is an amazing thing. Your generosity, it can't be, overstated enough. What you have brought, and delivered to us today to help all these people, that, families who really desperately are in need. And you answered that call, and we humbly thank you and appreciate you for everything you've done for us, today, to help our event and to make it what it is. And this is a beautiful way for us to end our show today, with you doing this, so it was very sweet, and it hit home for me, it warmed my heart, and I told them thank you, it meant a lot, what they said. And so um, and so they stopped, the air, because everything I said was on live radio. I knew they recorded it, but it was being played right there live at that point. So they ended it, and, I said my goodbyes and got in my car, and my husband's like, you know what? They're right. You are an angel. And they are right. Your parents would be so incredibly proud of you right now, because I'm proud of you. What you've done is an amazing thing. And don't think that it's gone unnoticed, because it hasn't. All of them made sure to make it clear to you it's not going unnoticed. That, your good deed will be appreciated, and you will be paid back for it, sometime down the road. And I said, that's not what it's about. But thank you. This is my way of honoring my mother's memory, of celebrating her. And by me doing this was my way of also, by that point, I knew I had finally found peace with my mother's death, with her being gone. As much peace as I was going to be able to get from her death, and accepting it, So it represented so many different things for me then, and he wanted to take me out to a nice dinner. So we did that, and then we go home. And I pull my car in the garage and get out, and He's back in his car in the garage. And I walk inside the house. And as soon as I opened the door and walked into my foyer to put my coat in the coat closet, I smelled roses. I had a strong, overwhelming scent of flowers. I knew that was my mama coming to me because her favorite flowers are roses. And I have nothing in my house at that time that could cause that scent. There was nothing that would cause that scent. For it to be as strong as it was, and the fact that I smelled it for maybe, not even maybe 10 seconds. Like I took, I think, 3 breaths in to make sure I smelled it, and then it was gone. And I knew that was my mama coming. She knew what I'd done. And that was her way of letting me know she saw my actions and what I did to honor her memory and celebrate her that day. Um, and to build that legacy behind for her, you know. Because she was 41 when she died, so she was so young too. Not just me and my siblings being young. My mother was too young to die. I'm 43. My mother died at 41. I mean, I can't even imagine dying that young and being sick for many years before then. So I was so thankful to smell that scent. And, that was even more healing. And right after I smelled the scent, then I felt someone like come up behind me and stroke my hair like this. And my mama would do this with my hair, because she always talked about how it's so soft and it smelled like silk. I felt someone like run their fingers through my hair 3 times. And I even remember I could feel like, like my hair, there's a few strands that are like going in my face, like static. I mean, I could feel the hairs on my face moving. Um, and it kind of, it disturbed me at first because I remember I leaned back, but I realized it was still my mama letting me know she was there. So beautiful people, this is what I want you to know, because I know the holidays are very difficult for all of us who are missing a loved one. We wish they were here. What I want you to know is they haven't left you. They are still with you, and they see everything you're doing in your life. Okay? They are there through those struggles. And yes, they are there when you even want to do something to honor and celebrate them. They see your actions. They hear you. They are there walking with you as you're doing it. They recognize it and know that. If that will bring you some healing, that's all I can hope for. It brings you some healing. It's a reminder that your family, your loved ones on the other side have not forgotten you. They know what's going on, and if there's anything you felt you need to do to let them know you're missing them, you wish they were there, talk to them. They will hear you. Okay, you may not get an answer back right away, or you may not hear their voice at all, or anything that would stand out to you right away that they heard you and they're answering you. But if you pay close enough attention and pay close enough attention to your surroundings, you just might get that little sign, that message from them, like what I got, to be able to smell roses and feel my mama stroke my hair like she did when she was alive. So, you know, I know it's not the same. I know how much we wish our loved ones were still here and we wish we could physically reach out and touch them or pick up that phone and call them or drive to their house and see their face. I know that. I feel that all the time, beautiful people. Y'all know, if y'all been into my, channel for a while, y'all know how much my heart still hurts missing my family, especially my parents. But above all else, more particularly my mama, because she was my best friend. So I still live with that every day. But I find ways to honor her and my other parents and my grandparents and my uncles and aunts and all my friends who I've lost over the years. I find a way to acknowledge them on those hard days, whether it's their birthday, whether it's the anniversary date of their death, it's a holiday, whatever, or maybe even your own birthday. I found a way to even do that on my own birthday, so, what I did, that was something I started that I felt a calling to. And I go to that event, I've been doing it every year since then, but I may not buy as many meals to donate, but like the few years after following before COVID, I was taking a dozen turkeys with all the sides for the same event. So I go to it every year. Um, and I also may go to like my mom or my daddy's favorite restaurant. You know, I'll sit there and eat at their favorite restaurant. I may order, like an appetizer, something they loved, or I might even have their favorite cocktail. Those are my little ways of remembering them, celebrating them still like they're here, celebrating their life and everything they were and who they mean to me. Or I might even go like to the bowling alley for an example because as many of y'all know, my mama was a great bowler. I come from a bowling family. Both my parents bowled, and they were professional in their own right. My mother was so good that she was asked to join the World Pro Tour back when I was a little girl. So just to tell you, how good she was. So I'll do different things like that, just to let them know that I'm thinking of them, I'm missing them. I haven't forgotten about them. But in the same token, they also come through to me to let me know they haven't forgotten about me either. They're still here. They never left. And that's what I want you to know more than anything. So know there's good things that happen in this world. And know that your loved ones see everything, know everything you're doing from the other side. Know that if you really, really want to hear from them, if you want to get some kind of message, tell them that. Tell them what it is you need from them. Okay? Will they be able to do exactly what you're asking them to do? Maybe not. Okay? But you will know if you keep just saying, listen, let's just say it's my mama, and let's just say you've lost your mom, I'll just say, Mama, I need a sign. Something that clearly tells me it's you and nobody else but you. To let me know you are here with me right now, that you know what I'm doing, that you see my struggles, my hardships, my happy times, my victories, my successes, my achievements, and so on. And they will answer you. You know, um, a couple of days after the anniversary date of my mama's death had passed, because, the date for Thanksgiving in the United States, it changes every year. So even though she died on the 22nd, Thanksgiving isn't on the 22nd every year. It changes. So this year, I think it was the 28th. Um, so I would get these little signs from her. Like, I remember I was in this room one night streaming. I believe I was streaming. Or I was on the phone with someone. And I felt my mama's presence in this room with me, standing beside me. I knew it was her. Automatically knew, and it wasn't like, I sat there, it's not like I thought, I felt something or, heard something. I felt her energy in this room with me. And I pulled out, my tarot cards because I felt like there was something else she needed to say to me. Her and my daddy both, since, especially my dad, since he died November 2nd, I felt like they had a clear message for me. And, but I wasn't able to get that message yet. And so, it bothered me. It's like, I know they're trying to reach me. I know there's something they're trying to say to me. So I just told my mom, I said, Mom, I know you're here. I feel you. And I just saw a spirit orb just now. The confirmation. That's my confirmation. I said, Mom, I know you're here. I said, I feel you. I said, thank you. I needed that. I needed to feel you. I said, I know you got a message for me. I said, but for whatever reason, I'm not getting it right now. I said, I think because, my heart's hurting right now, missing you. Knowing, what you went through, what this month is like, knowing I still got to get through Thanksgiving and so on. I said, so I will try and find another way to get your message because I know I'm not going to receive it right now because of my emotions, because I wasn't in that high vibrational energy I need to be to pull those messages down from heaven. So, um, a few days later, I was up early one morning and I saw someone else that was online who's a psychic medium. And so I decided, I would ask her, if she could help me. Because I told her, I said, I didn't tell her that, my mama's anniversary date of death just passed. I just said, I feel like my parents have a message for me. I said, I just want to know, do they? And she said, yes, in fact, they do. And their message was to have a leap of faith, to believe in what I'm doing. That everything I'm doing up to this point and everything I'm planning to do for myself and for my future, like for my channel, continue with reading tarot to help people, making these videos for y'all, all these things that they're behind me, that yes, this is what I'm meant to do. And I do have their full support and they're encouraging me to believe in it. That, this will help me in the long run and help me to be able to, provide for myself. And also they told me to make sure I'm taking better care of myself, which, yeah, that I, understood right away. I'm not taking as good care of myself as I should be at times because, yes, I'm not eating regularly like I should, or I'm not getting enough sleep most days, things like that. That part I understood. But, the leap of faith, I needed some time to really um, tune into that energy. So I just took, those couple of messages. I said, okay. So I sat down one night, a couple days later, turned over tarot, and I was asking my parents, what do you mean by leap of faith? I know you mean leap of faith in what? And they started telling me what the message meant, which, again, they were confirming, providing clarity. It has everything to do with me reading tarot, me having this channel, me streaming all the time to reach people like you, to share my gifts with, to be able to provide a tarot reading if that's what you're needing, for guidance or anything else, and so on. And to believe that this is truly what I was called to do, that, that nothing's going to stop me from being able to do this, that this is what my purpose is. And, my other plans that I have for my life, me building, um, as y'all may have heard me say, an empire of my own, an entrepreneur. Yes, that comes with it. So they believe in all of that. So I was very thankful for that. So again, beautiful people, what I want you to know is if you're truly missing someone on the other side, know that they're with you. They haven't left you. Love is eternal. Their love still lives on, and it lives on in you and only you. Okay, their love will never die. It's forever going on. And so forever going to exist in this world and in their world. And between two worlds, that love brings us back together. And know, you will see them again one day. I can assure you of that. You may feel like it's going to be forever and a day. You may even have your doubts that maybe they're not here, But I'm telling you, your loved ones are still with you. So talk to them. And I also hope that my story, what I've shared, like I said, that it wasn't, to toot my own horn. This is just to share these, why that spiritual experience, like feeling my mama, why that happened. How, because I did that, that's what caused her to come through strong enough to let me know she was still with me and she appreciated everything I did that day. So I hope that this story, brings you some comfort, some love, some happiness, and peace. To know they're always there. And, if you're going through a hard time right now, I'm sending you all my love and light and comfort and healing. And just know there are people out there who truly do care. We don't have to know who you are. We don't have to know your name, see your face. But there's people out there like me who truly do genuinely care. And, if we can help, we will. And we do. There's still good people in this world, as, the saying goes. So, beautiful people, I'm going to end it here. Um, I know Thanksgiving has already passed. And this, has to do with Thanksgiving, but it was also part of Christmas too, because I did end up taking some of that money that was left over, and I donated it to um, veterans um, organizations that help injured soldiers, who went to war, because my father was military. And I also had, donated what was left to buy Christmas gifts for, kids, for families in need. So even though I know Thanksgiving passed, it's all surrounding Thanksgiving and into Christmas. So I hope this message can bring you some happiness, some peace, a smile, some warmth to know again, you know, that there are people out there who do care, and to remind you your loved ones are always with you. Talk to them. Speak to them. Open your heart and your mind and to your surroundings. They will come through for you. So until next time, beautiful people, stay blessed.